Today we are going to start the chapter Theory of Supply. So let's understand the meaning first. Now, supply of a commodity in a market, what that means? Supply of a commodity in a market means the quantity offered for sale at a particular price and time by the producer. So at that particular time in a market, what producer is offering, okay, the quantity which he is offering at a particular price, that is what a supply of a commodity is. So supply can be defined as a schedule of quantities that will be offered for sale at various prices. I will repeat, supply can also be defined as a schedule of quantities that will be offered for sale at various prices. Okay, now let's understand the features of supply. Now, what are the features, characteristics of supply? First is desired quantity. What we have studied, the quantity which seller offer. That means when the quantity is offered by a seller, that is a desired quantity. Fine. So supply is a desired quantity, that is how much producer are willing to sell and not how much they actually sell. Okay. Do remember, this is willing, not actual. There is a difference between willing and actual. Okay. Next is related to price. Just as demand for a commodity is always explained with reference to price, similarly supply of a commodity has always a reference to price. Supply varies with the price and therefore it is defined with reference to price. Okay. Do remember, it is always, we have studied about demand, right? Now demand is always connected to price. What was the relationship between demand and price? It was an inverse relationship, because when price increases, demand decreases. When demand decreases, when demand increases, price decreases, right? So that is what opposite relationship they have, whereas price has a direct relationship. We will study ahead about this, but right now you understand it is related to price. Okay, price has a effect on supply in the market. Now it has three features. First, we have already studied about quantity desired. Second, related to price. Third is flow. Flow means, like demand, supply is a flow variable. Therefore, supply refers to the amount which producer or sellers are willing to sell during a specific time period of per day, per month or per annum. Flow, that means the supply. Okay, supply in the market. So that is, supply can be for one day also, for a particular time also. It can be for a week, for a month, anything. So it is a flow concept, flow variable. Okay. So far we have done about the features and meaning. Now we will shift on to the differentiation. Now this is a difference of supply and stock. Okay, do remember, this is an important differentiation. It basically comes for 2 to 3 marks. So be very careful. Let's understand the meaning of supply. We have already studied what is supply. Supply is that part of stock which is offered for sale with change in price. Okay, that is offered for sale in the market by a producer and it changes with the change in price. Now what is stock? Stock indicates total quantity of the commodity available for sale. Okay. See, stock, that means the amount which is lying in a factory. Okay. So that is a commodity, or you can say quantity of a commodity which is available for sale. Now what is the nature of supply? Supply is a flow concept. Flow concept, that means it is actually related to a period of time. Supply. Okay. So it is a flow concept. Now stock related to a particular point of time. Particular point of time, why? Because when you will check the stock, what is the stock? You are checking stock on 21st of suppose June. Okay. So 21st of June, if you are checking at a particular time, it can change after 1 hour. Right. So at that particular time, what is the stock is that only you can state. Right. So that is what stock is related to a particular point of time. Next is relation. Supply is always less than the stock, except in case of perishable goods. Now why perishable goods? Perishable goods, that means we have the goods which can be spoiled or raw immediately. Raw means that can be spoiled or you can rotten. Okay. So what you have to do? You have to immediately supply the whole stock. You have to finish up the stock. So that is why it is not related to the perishable goods, but otherwise to rest of the goods it is always less than stock. Why? Because people try to hold and give less in the market so that the price can be managed. Okay, so that is why it has a that kind of relationship. That means the supply relationship to stock is less. Now in case of stock is always greater than supply except in case of perishable goods. Stock is always greater than supply. That means stock, that is just now we saw कि stock when supply is less than stock, that means stock is more than supply. We stock goods. Why? Because we have to manage price in the market. So that is why stock is always more. But it cannot be possible in case of perishable goods. Again, why? Because as much as we have a stock, we have to immediately supply it. Otherwise, the goods will get spoiled. Okay. Now let's understand the types of supply. Now how many types of supply is there? There are 3 types of supply: market period supply, short period supply, and long period supply. Now what is market period supply? For instant supply. Market period supply, that means that particular period of time. So market period supply refers to the current supply of a commodity in the market. The time period is too short to adjust supply. Why? Because it is particular time period. That means now today market is working, okay, by 12 o'clock. So that is that particular period of time. You cannot change it. So supply cannot be changed at all due to lack of time. Even if price has increased, even there is a fluctuation, so immediately you cannot change the stock. You cannot supply the goods. Fine. So it is not possible. So that is what market supply refers to. What? Current supply of a commodity in the market. Then short period supply. Now what is short period supply? Short period refers to that period which is not sufficient to make major changes in supply as per demand. Now short period, it is for particular period of time. Suppose week, 15 days, 1 month. Okay. So now the period is so short that you cannot change the supply. Why? Because whatever you have produced as per the demand. Now even if there is a variation in demand, you cannot change the stock. So the existing stock of fixed capital can only be intensively used. Okay, so right now whatever you have produced, you can use it. So working hour of labor may be increased. Supply can only be changed by changing the quantity of variable factors like raw materials, labors, etc. Now in case, suppose in short period, that means it is 15 days or weeks time or months time, whatever it is, short period time, if at all you want to change, okay, in case if you will change also, then you will change the variable factor. Variable factor means raw material or labor. By changing the time period, like if the labor is working for 4 hours, you can make them work for 8 hours. So that way you can make the changes. But fixed capital means land and all those capital, whatever is fixed, you cannot change that. Okay, so that means the supply at any cost will be fixed, limited to the amount which you can change, like raw material, labors and all. Okay, which is a variable factor. Fine. So thus your supply can be changed but not according to change in demand. Supply can be changed but not as per the demand. Probably demand can be more, but you cannot touch that demand. You can try but you cannot. Okay. Now what is long period supply or normal supply? Long period supply refers to that period which is sufficiently long to make changes according to requirement due to sufficient time. Okay. Firms, producers can bring change in technique of production. Outdated and obsolete machinery may be replaced by modern and sophisticated machinery. Producers may also bring about structural change in the organization. Long period, that means sufficient time. Sufficient time, that means you can change all the variables. So whatever is requirement, you can change it. You can change techniques, you can change production, machinery, everything. Okay, to the sophisticated level, to your choice. Am I clear? Now we will understand factors affecting supply, or you can say determinants of supply. Okay, so first is what? Price of the commodity. how supply is determined, or what are the factors which will affect the supply in the market. So first is what? Price of the commodity. No doubt the price of the commodity will determine the supply. Now how the supply will be determined? Supply means what? The producer is supplying. Think as per producer's point of view. Now you are a producer. When you will supply? When you will get more price, right? Fine. Why? Because you want more profit. So that is what it says. Price of a commodity is the most important determinants of its supply. Higher the price, the larger will be the supply. So as the price rises, the producer in the expectation of what? Earning larger profit. That's what I said. You want more profit. So when the price is high, you will supply more. So in expectation of earning larger profit will increase the supply of the commodity, and vice versa. Okay, so this type of relationship between price and supply has illustrated by the law of supply. Later we are going to study law of supply. Okay, so when we will study law of supply, you will understand this better. Next is price of other commodity. Now price of other commodity means when the price of all other commodities increases, it becomes more profitable for the producer to produce those commodities. Consequently, the supply of the existing commodity falls, and vice versa. Now what this means? Suppose I am producing one good. Fine. Now other commodity ka price increases. So producer will do what? They will shift to produce that, whichever price is more. Why? Because they want more profit. Fine. So what happened? Current commodity ka supply will fall, and vice versa. That means if this particular commodity ka price will increase, they will start producing this. So their supply will increase. Okay. Thus the supply of a commodity depends upon the price of all other commodities. Okay. Now goals of the firm. The firm of a commodity also depends, the supply of a commodity also depends upon the goal of a firm. Goal, that means target. What is your target? Now suppose if your target is maximum profit or maximum sale. Okay, it all depends on that. Suppose your target is maximum profit. So what you will do? You will supply less. You will see to it that the price should be more. But your target is supply. That means sell the goods. Completely sell out the stock. So you will not check out the price. What you will do? You will produce more. You will supply more. You will sell more. Okay, so that all depends on the target of the firm, or you can say goal of the firm. Am I clear? Now next is price of factors of production. Now what are the factors of production? Land, labor, right? So machineries, capital, entrepreneur, these are what? These are factors of production. The supply of a commodity is also influenced by the price of the factors of production used in the production of the commodity. Now, if the price of a factors of production is less, okay, is reduced, what will happen? The cost of the product will automatically increase. Why? Because your cost is less, okay, so you will at least tag the normal price. Okay, when you are tagging the normal price, that means you are getting more profit. Okay, so that's what they say. A fall in the price of a factor of production will reduce the cost of the production, which in turn will increase the production and supply due to rise in the margin of the profit. Why? Because your profit margin has increased. Fine. So what you will do? You will supply more. And if on the other hand the price of a factor of production rises, the supply will decrease. Why? Because your cost of the product will increase, and if the cost of the product will increase, your profit margin will reduce. Okay. Now next factor is state of technology. If the producer make use of improved and advanced technology in their process of production, the cost of production will come down. Okay, total supply thus will increase. But against it, supply of our goods using old and inferior technique of production will fall. See, if the state of technology is good, you will produce good quality. Okay, suppose your state of technology is bad, you will produce what? Inferior quality, right? So that is what they want to say. That is why scientific discoveries and their application to production of commodity are being made. Okay, so even that affects your factor of production, or you can say the determinant. It can act as a determinant of supply. Next is number of producers. Now, if the number of firms producing in a particular commodity increases, market supply of the commodity will increase. When the existing firm of an industry are making huge profit, some new firm may enter that industry and the total production and supply will thus increase. By industry, we make the group of firm making same kind of goods. Now, for example, you can say, suppose somebody has a monopoly, they are producing a kind of goods. Okay, now if somebody else enter and start producing the same kind of good, what will happen? The customer will get divided, right? So as many as the number of producers, as many as the supply, as many as the consumers will be divided. Otherwise, if you have one kind of product, that means you are the alone producer, so you will enjoy the maximum profit. Fine. So it all depends on the number of producers. Next is future expectation regarding prices. When seller expects price rise in future, they would like to reduce the present supply of their commodity. Now, presently, if you are supplying your commodity and the price is less, but you expect that in coming future, the price of this particular commodity is going to increase, what you will do? You will hold it. Right? You will not supply it in the market. Why? You will wait for the future to come. You will wait for the time to come to supply the same kind of product, so that at least you can get normal profit, right? So that is what it is, future expectation regarding prices. Next is taxes and subsidies. Now, what do you mean by taxes and subsidies? Now, this is being input by government. Okay. Now, these also affect the supply of a commodity. If tax which is being levied by the government is high on the commodity, what will happen? The price will increase. What? The cost of the particular goods will increase. So profit margin will reduce. What supplier will do? Supplier will supply less. Whereas if subsidies increase, subsidies means concession by the government. Now, if the subsidies increases, the cost will reduce, and once the cost of the product reduces, what will happen? The profit margin will increase. Now, if the profit margin will increase, no doubt the supply will be more. So that is what taxes and subsidies is. Now, next factor is natural factors. Now, what do you mean by natural factors? For example, there are few commodities which all depends on nature, like agriculture. So the supply of agricultural commodities largely depends upon natural factor like amount of rainfall, fertility of the soil, climatic condition. Now, if these are goods, no doubt the produce will be goods, and if the produce is good, supply will be more. Why? Because you cannot hold such kind of goods. These are perishable goods, right? So that is why it all depends on natural factor. Next is means of transports and communication. Now, if proper development and growth of means of transport and communication is there, what will happen? It will help in maintaining adequate supply of the commodity all over the country. Okay. The supply will be proper. Why? Because the functioning is proper. And if the transportation and communication facility is not properly developed, no doubt the supply will be delayed. Okay. So that is what it means to say. Now, next we will move on to the meaning of individual and market supply. Okay. Now, first let's understand the meaning of individual supply. Now, what is individual supply? Quantity of a commodity which any one producer is willing to produce. Do remember, again, it is willing, it is not actual. Okay. So any one producer is willing to produce and offer for sale is known as individual supply. So therefore, individual supply refers to the commodity, or you can say quantity of a commodity which a firm is willing to provide and offer for sale at a particular price during a specified period. Now let's understand about the individual supply schedule. Now, what is individual supply schedule? Individual supply schedule for any product indicates different quantities supplied per period by a producer at different possible prices of the commodities. See, you can see the schedule. See, at one part the price is being given, the price of X per unit. Okay, next is quantity supplied at that particular price. Like at 2 rupees, what is the supply per month? That is 20 units. Okay, at 3 rupees, what is the supply of the X commodity per month? That is 40 units. So different amounts and different quantities are being given, that is per firm. Okay, so this is the supply schedule of a firm. Am I clear? One firm. Fine. Now next you will see is individual supply curve. See, on grounds of whatever is being supplied, same it is being plotted. Okay, you can check out the diagram. There is no difference. You can simply plot the points which is being given over here. Okay, and start plotting, pointing out, and then draw a ray. You can see supply will be upward. That means it is moving upward. You can see that very well in the diagram. Fine. So this is individual supply curve. So what is individual supply curve? An individual supply curve shows various quantities of a given commodity which an individual producer is willing to supply at different prices during a given period of time. So in short, supply curve, individual supply curve is a graphical presentation of all the commodities which a producer is willing to supply. Likewise, individual supply schedule is a schedule, that is tabular format of showing all the quantity or commodity at particular price a producer is willing to supply. Am I clear? So this is what, one is tabular that format, another is graphical format. Now next we will understand market supply. What is market supply? Quantity that all the firms in the market. Do remember, previous was a individual. Individual means single firm. Now here it is total firm of the market. All the firms of the market, okay, are willing to produce and offer for sale at a particular price during a specified period is known as market supply for industries supply. Am I clear? So this is, you can call either a market supply or industry supply. Therefore market supply is the sum total of supply of a commodity made by a individual firm. Okay, so whatever complete commodity they are supplying in a market, that is market supply. Am I clear? Now let's move on to the market supply schedule. Now what is market supply schedule? Market supply schedule of a good is a table. Okay, it is a tabular format. Again I told, previous one I have already told you that it is a tabular format. So that is what they want to say. It is a table which shows various quantities of the goods that all the producers together are willing to supply at each market price during a specified time period. Okay, like market demand schedule, a market supply schedule is also there. You can see the summary over here. See what they have done. They have again given a price of X commodity. Fine. Now they have given the amount which will be specified. That means which will be supplied by two different firms at a particular price. Like at price 2 of X commodity, A firm will supply 10 unit, B firm will supply 20 unit. But this is individual. A's individual supply is 10. B's individual supply is 20. What is market supply? Market supply is total, that is 10 plus 20. Market supply is 30. Okay, so we will take the total of both the firms, that is market supply. Clear? Now we have understood about market supply meaning and market supply schedule. Now what is market supply curve? Market supply curve is a curve which shows various quantities of a commodity which all the producers are willing to produce and sell at different prices during a given period of time. See, I already told you, supply curve is what? It is a graphical representation. Now whatever you will depict in this, you will depict total of both the firms. If you have two firms, three firms, no problem, but then total of all. Okay, so that is what. If you will check out the graph over here, see the market supply is what? It is a bit flatter. So market supply curve is flatter than all individual supply curve. It happens because with the change in price. Okay, the proportionate change in market supply is more than the proportionate change in individual supply. Why? Because you are taking the total of all the firms. Okay, so that is why the proportionate change you will see is more, and you can see the curve is flatter, okay, compared to individual supply curve. Am I clear? So far we have covered up till market supply curve. Rest of the topics we will cover in next part.